Today I'm going to talk about money in a relationship, how to prevent money from ruining your relationship. This hits home because I know that finances has ruined a lot of relationships. It ruined mine anyways. So I'm going to share with you 6 steps that can help prevent money from destroying your relationship. So stay with me.
Hello, welcome to another episode of Thy Truth. Finding your truth with Efemena.
So how to prevent money from ruining your relationship. Number 1, don't eat more than you can chew. You pretty much set yourself up for disaster when you show off at the start of your relationship. I mean, it's not, there are 2 ways to it, right? While it might recipe for disaster, sometimes when you show your true self, in that instance when you're trying to lure someone to you, not particularly lure, but you want them to, you want to gain their trust, gain their love, and so you do all these nice things for them. It's not very healthy at the end of the day. So I think it's quite important to fully disclose your financial situation to your partner. I mean, if they leave you because they feel you're not compatible financially, and I guess that's for the best. No, it's easier said, I know, but it's better to express and show who you truly are, show your finances to them, or explain to them, talk about your loans, your debts, your income source, and all of that, so your partner can fully understand what's going on. By not biting more than you can chew, I'm also talking about, I have had people close to me do this. They would spend a lot on engagement parties and then the wedding and all of that. And afterwards, they're stuck. I have a friend, she's more like a sister to me. Her husband spent all the money, tried to make her, you would say in one hand, he wanted to give her a dream wedding, but he never told her that he borrowed that money. He never explained to her that was a loan. And so in her mind, in her head, her husband, had the money to spend. So that's not really starting on a good note. So don't eat more than what you can bite. Number 2, understanding how he or she thinks about money is as important. Understand your partner's habits, their spending habits. Understand how they were raised with monies. I say this because this is personal, like I said, this is my truth. I grew up in a home where my father was a spender. By spender, I mean he gave us the basics and all of that. It's not like we had it all, it wasn't luxury all through. But when my father would come home and it's just had his paycheck, we all knew, because he would spend so much. By spending, he would just say, you know what, guys, come into the car, pop in, let's go out. And he would, oh yeah, lovely memories. He would buy what we wanted, at least one item each. And during our birthdays as well, it was galore. I mean, for us at that time it was. So I think it's important to know. Oh, by the way, when he would do this, my mom would Like it was almost like she was like a ticking time bomb. Why are you spending so much? I have seen them talk about monies a few times, well, not in front of us. They didn't know I was listening. But I remember then when my father would come home and buy my mom clothes and new suits and dresses, and she would be like, I would look at her face thinking, because I'll be excited for her. Like, Mom, it's a new dress. It's so pretty. It's a new shoe. But she's looking at him thinking, thank you. Not thinking, saying rather, thank you. But you could tell from her look that she wasn't happy and this was going back. That was how my father was. He would see something and just feel like, oh, this would look good on my wife. Or he would see something and say, oh yeah, if it was like this. I remember when he got me my first typewriter, and I could go on and on. Pretty much what I'm trying to say is, I think it's important to understand your partner's habits. That way you know if they're spenders, if they're hoarders, if they are savers or whatever. You can tell. Understand them. Number 3, be on the same page. Now I know things happen as we grow older. In a year, in 2 years, things will change, situation changes. But as time goes on, talk about it so that you both align your ideas, your the way you think about certain things, the way you plan for things, let them align. Always try to be on the same page if possible. I know sometimes it can be a bit dicey, especially if one person is working and the other isn't, and then they start to feel guilty that, the other person is responsible for everything. And the person who is working, the partner who is working, starts to sometimes feel resentment, they're stressed out because they have to do everything on their own. Oh my gosh, I've been on both ends, so I can understand how it feels. And but talk about it. Like I said, be in the same page. And as a partner, if you are not doing anything and you feel guilty about it, there's certain things you can do. You can get your power back. I'm not saying go straight to the workforce, and it could be, there are different reasons for not working like your partner. So it could be you're taking care of the children, or health issue or something, or to an extent, like I said, you don't have to get yourself back into the workforce. You could start off by doing little stuff around. It could be selling or writing blogs, or selling stuff on Jumia or Amazon or eBay, or just something little income, and that you can say, okay, this is it. I'm doing something and I'm making, even though it's small, it's something for me. Number 4, budgeting. Now, to prevent wahala, that's wahala means problems or troubles. To prevent that, it's important that you have some sort of plan. You project what you need. If it's for the month, for the year, it's important. And thankfully, there's so many apps out there that can actually help. I'm using one at the moment. So it will track your spending, your expenses, and it will track your accounts and all of that. So that's very important. Number 5, keeping secrets about money is not talking about it. Not talking can lead to a lot of things. And this part is the part that I suffer the most. I tend not to talk about it because like I said in the other episode, in one of the episodes, I just bite my tongue so that I don't have to deal with the wahala or the effects of what I'm talking about. I just would rather not talk about it. But you know what? Talking about it is so important. If you keep secrets and you hold it back, that's a recipe for disaster. I mean, some people hide their monies. Like, they make money and they don't want their partners to know about it, so they hide. Or some people would hide their debts. Like, I'm not saying disclose every single thing to your partner or every single purchase to your partner. I mean, you're allowed sometimes. You need breathing space. You need a breathing space. So you don't have to, tell them everything that you want to buy or you want to get for yourself. But I think all these tips kind of align, or they're connected. So even if you don't tell your partner every single thing you get, you can decide to say or plan or budget and say, okay, we both have 100,000 nairas, or let me use the US. We both have 500 US dollars for us, individually, and whatever you do with it, that's your ish. If you're buying shoes or buying gadgets, that's fine. But as long as we don't go out of that, our personal budgets, then we're cool. Okay? So if something like that. But it's important to talk about big purchase, like you going to buy a car or something. Now that's something you want to talk about with your partner. And just, they're important. I mean, your relationship is important. And I have learned that if you don't talk about these things, they will just become a much more bigger issue. Number 6, lastly, treat your partner with respect. Treat your partner the way you would want to be treated. Yes, there will be wahala. I have had the situation where it got intense in my relationship because of monies, and words were spoken. It's something about words, you cannot take them back. When you argue about these things, as cliche or as it might sound, do it with love. Argue with love. I know how that sounds, especially when you're in the heat of the moment. Thinking about arguing with a person with love is the least thing in your head, because you're super angry at your partner or with the person. So, but as much as you talk about it, even if you're raising your voices, which is not very, I'm not the one to say it's good or not good, but it doesn't really help. As much as you talk about it, just try not to use certain words. Try not to call names, like, you're so irresponsible. Oh, how can you be so foolish? How can you be damn so crazy to do such a thing? There's certain words you can't take back, and it will stick there for a while, for a long time. So if there's a problem, like I said, and maybe the problem is way beyond your solving it, you can get help if possible. Maybe get a financial advisor. It doesn't have to be like a long-term retainership, or it could just be for that moment to just solve that issue and then start to plan better. Or if you think you need a therapist, someone to talk to you about it, then that's also, I guess, that works as well. I've never done that, so but other people who have, they say it works. So if it worked for them, it might work for you. Those are 6 tips on how you can avoid money, finances, from ruining your relationship. I hope it works out, whatever you're going through in your marriage, financially, or in your committed relationships. I hope it really works out. Thanks for listening.
Meet you again at another episode of Thy Truth. Finding Your Truth with Efemena.